For this video, I want to start from the very beginning of right from installing the app and then to onboarding and showing you how exactly everything works. So let's wait for it to download. And yeah, now this is how the onboarding screen looks like. Looks pretty good. Standard personal dictionary, 4x faster than typing. We'll see about that. Let's get started. Which one of these do you resonate with? I don't care. Let's just select a couple of these. Okay, this is the onboarding. And I can see that this demo is taken on an older iPhone, which is fine. Just my observation. Click next. Remember, Flow works in any app. Obviously, it's a keyboard. It will work in any app. So let's set up Flow and let me continue with my email. Okay, so let's set up Flow. Let's see how the onboarding looks like. Set up. It will ask me to set up as a keyboard and it will ask me to allow full access. And it says that the data is safe. So let's see. We go to settings, we go to keyboards, Wispr Flow, allow full access, and Apple gives you a warning that they might get everything, including sensitive information like your credit card numbers and street address. I guess there is no other way to do it. There is one way, I'll tell you, but for now, we have to give all the permissions to Wispr Flow. Allow, and that should be it. Okay, now let's test the magic. Try Flow. Allow Flow to access your microphone. Okay, allow. And it switched to Wispr Flow. This is me testing how the Wispr Flow mobile app works for the first time, and I'm testing the onboarding for my YouTube video. Okay, so the initial feedback is that it also gets the capitalization and spacing correct. There is a space at the end I can see. This one. Like I can't use the keyboard. Okay, I can't use the keyboard in the onboarding, which is, I don't know, which is fine. But you can see there's a space at the end. It really is not a big deal, but just my observation from the onboarding. I click next. And then it's asking me to try dictating an email. So probably they have a system prompt that they detect that if I'm saying something around which sounds like writing an email, they will format it like that, right? So let's see how that works. Hey, Greg, I just wanted to write back to you about our conversation. Let's continue that on Zoom today. Would that work? About in evening? Thanks, Rish. Okay, it failed. So it wasn't able to format my speech as an email. Yeah, so the system prompt failed for this particular use case. Maybe I had to say exactly how they prompted. But since I cannot go back, like there is no way to delete everything, can I change the keyboard and then try? Okay, I got reset back. So there was no way to actually edit this and go back. So far, the second onboarding failed. Let's click next. Let's try whispering a note. Okay. So I'm trying to make a note list. First, I have to go to the laundry. Second, I have to pick up books from the library. And third, I have to go and purchase a Mac Mini. Okay, I'm trying to make a note list. I have to go to purchase a Mac Mini. Okay, this one worked. Clearly, they have strict system prompts in place, which at least do two things. One, figure out if you're trying to write an email and then format it in that way. And second one, which is a special case for numbered lists, right? So we'll see if this works in other cases as well. For now, next. Okay, next. I ask not to track. Next. Okay, privacy mode. And from your language. Okay, this one is something I'm super interested in because I I'm multilingual and I speak multiple languages in my daily life and interacting with my team, with other people around the world as well. So I really want to see how the auto detect will work inside Wispr Flow. And my special consideration would be if I'm speaking, let's say, Hindi or any other language other than English, will it be able to transcribe that in Latin script or not? That's my requirement, because if I'm speaking some other script, I don't want to write that in that script. I want to write that in Latin English native language. This is a problem I solved with my app, but let's see how Wispr Flow can do that. So I auto detect and I click next. Notifications, no thank you. Okay, start flowing. Okay, unlock unlimited for 2 weeks. That's fine. Okay, dictionary. Okay, dictate in another app to access rest of the flow. Okay, let's open up if I can make a note. This is a testing of my note, and this is the first time I'm using Wispr Flow inside my notes application. I'm trying to do a test for my YouTube video, and these are the points that I am trying to see. First, I just did onboarding. Second, there are some things that did not work in onboarding and it was slightly inconvenient. And I think let's see what the rest of the app looks like. Okay, so let's see how it can transcribe. Okay, it did everything correct. Wispr Flow was capitalized as because they would have their own company name as a keyword for sure. YouTube was capitalized. There was a comma after video, which was good. I did onboarding. There was no full stops at the end. There are some slightly inconvenient, no full stop. And this should not have been a third point. This should have been like this without a third point. So yeah, so their system from as soon as it catches that you're trying to do an ordered list, it just fills everything with numbers. That is my initial observation. If I click this, okay, it shows me how many words. Turn off. Okay, one more thing to be noted here is because of iOS limitation, any of the voice to text keyboard especially would be turned on as a dictation all the time, at least for the duration of your usage. So even if I go to my home and like do any other thing, this thing would keep on in the background and the iOS would always prompt me with this orange light that something is recording my voice. That is slightly uncomfortable for me. It also happens with Spokenly, it happens with any voice to text app. So that is maybe a limitation of iOS. I can just maybe on long press and turn this off like that. But now, next time if I have to start dictation, I have to click on start flow and then it will go back to the app again and then it will come back to my selected app. Flow will, like you see, Flow will take you back to your previous app. The first time you do this in a new app, iOS will ask you for confirmation. Let's see how that works. Okay, let me try once again. So I stop this and let's see if this time this will go back to Flow and come back to notes or not. Start Flow. Yes. Every time it will go back to Flow, open up dictation and come back to notes. This also happens to Spokenly, and I know for a fact that the developer has to add dynamic links for every single app that is out there so that the switch can happen seamlessly. For the apps which are lesser known, sometimes developers do not have the dynamic linking enabled. And in those cases, this doesn't work. But I think for the most apps, it should work so far. Okay, so if I go to Wispr Flow once again, let me see what kind of settings I'm having. So refer a friend, unlock on a computer, that is fine. Dictionary. Okay, so dictionary is where you can add new words, and by default Wispr Flow will add your name as a dictionary word, which is a nice touch because they know your name from your onboarding. In snippets you have these, and I can add a new snippet which basically is a shortcut. If I speak that word, it will expand to that link. For example, if I'd like to have my calendar link as a snippet, I can just add I'm just trying to experiment with how it works. Okay, so let's see if that works or not. Do we have, okay, quick note. Okay, insert my calendar right here. Okay, so every time calendar word is there in the speech, it will just replace that with my link. Okay, this is fine. Snippets is fine. But one thing to note is there is no option to use any custom models or any custom prompts for your speech. So everything is kind of closed source, which is fine. But now let's see if it can figure out my language changes. So now I'm speaking English to test if it can switch and code switch the languages. अगर मैं हिंदी में स्विच कर लेता हूँ तो क्या ये मेरी हिंदी ट्रांसक्रिप्शन हिंदी स्क्रिप्ट में लिखेगा या फिर लैटिन स्क्रिप्ट में कन्वर्ट करेगा. I сейчас я говорю по-русски, меня зовут Риш, и я говорю по-русски сейчас, и я recording video на YouTube канал. Okay, this is okay. It could not figure out 3 languages at once. It also could not write my Hindi dictation in Latin Hindi script. So this really doesn't work for me, you know. So to do this, I will show you how to do it with a shortcut I made and also with Spokenly. So let's go to Spokenly now and see how that compares versus Wispr Flow. And this is Spokenly, a tool I personally use and love. And honestly, I think this is way beyond what Wispr Flow is right now on iPhone. I can go to keyboard and select which model I specifically want to use for my speech to text. Depending upon what I'm doing, different models have different use cases. Some are super fast in multilingual, some are super fast in English, some are really good at medical transcription. So depending upon what is my use case, I can choose. Also, if I don't want to send my speech to cloud at all, I can use local models. And if you don't know, Apple's latest model, which is called the Apple Speech Analyzer, is crazy good, super fast, and works all on device. There's no need to send the voice to any cloud model. And all these models are available to download inside the app. And once downloaded, they will work offline. NVIDIA Parakeet V3 is crazy good for the languages it supports. And you can also have your own API keys, so you don't have to take subscription of Spokenly at all. I have made a full video for Spokenly, which you can see right here. But in this one, I want to tell you one super simple shortcut that you can download and install. And if you only speak in English, this is faster than any of the Wispr Flows or Spokenlys, and there's no need to install any app. And let me show you how great it works. So let me open my notes and let me select all and delete. Okay, so this is my shortcut and let me show you how that works. So this is an example of how the local transcription model of Apple, which is called Apple Speech Analyzer, work without the need of any app or anything else. It's just a simple shortcut that will enable me to super fast transcribe my speech on device. And that's it. And it should be right here. And now I can paste. That was it. No need to install any app. Just speak. Just open the shortcut, speak on your phone, and just paste what you want. It will take care of the capitalizations, the commas, the punctuations, everything without anything else. Let me show you one more example. I think the best iPhone ever made was iPhone 4. And at that point of time, it was pretty new, pretty revolutionary. And I remember that Gizmodo had leaked that phone at that time, and Steve Jobs was super angry. And there was also an issue of antenna gate, if I can remember. But I think iPhone 4 of that time was really ahead of the game. And the best iPhones today, like iPhone 17 Pro, also cannot match the level of finesse that phone had. Okay, it was pretty long, but it should be done within few seconds. And right here, so you can see it figured out everything. It handled all the punctuations, and this is just super well done. It's all on device, no subscriptions, no app. This is how the shortcut looks like. So if I go to shortcuts right here, this was local. This is what I have named it. And this is a super simple shortcut. The trick is that Apple doesn't follow this speech to text model in the default dictation app. So if I go back and if I go to the default app, if I dictate stuff right here, it will not be this amazing. It will not figure out the punctuations, the capitalizations, because this dictation model is different from what we are using right here on device, the Apple Speech Analyzer. I don't know why it is the case, because maybe that this one doesn't support streaming and dictation does. Maybe that's the case. But if you want super accurate transcription in English, you don't have to install any app on your phone. This is a shortcut that you need, and I'll provide the link of this as well in the description below. Just use it and that's it. And I've also made another shortcut app, which is a premium one, which basically is the opposite of this, using which you can transcribe any voice text that you receive on your phone in WhatsApp, Telegram, or any app in any language using that. Just a small demo. So if I go to my WhatsApp and if I, let's say, play this, this is a French voice note, and I don't know French. So if I'm traveling in France and somebody sends me this, there's no way I can translate that to English. So what I'll do is I'll click on forward, I'll click on share, and I'll click on TalkFlow transcriber. And this will send it to the voice models and figure out what language it is. And it will actually show the transcription in that particular language, like so. But I don't know French, so this is useless to me unless I can translate it to English like that. So if that's the use case for you, here's the video on this topic. And if you want to explore spokenly, which is miles ahead of what Wispr Flow is right now on iPhone, check out this detailed video about that. And I'll also give the link to the shortcut which uses on-device Apple Speech Analyzer if you want to just transcribe your speech from English to text without the need of any app. That is it for now, and I'll see you in the next one.